Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Eric.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Back here in Los Angeles. Remember when we said we were going to move out here? And then we got an apartment in New York?
Uh-huh.
And then we spent all of 2019 in Los Angeles? Well, here we are.
Here we are.
We've had a great week out here. We've linked.
We've linked.
We've built.
We have built.
We've brunched.
We definitely had some powerful brunches. Shouts to Justin. Shouts to Jeremy.
We went to a pop-up in Inglewood.
Shouts to Nipsey Hussle and Emery Jones.
We went to Staples Center and saw Justin Timberlake in concert.
Shout out to our great friend Justin Timberlake, the man of the woods, the man of the hour.
What about
He's
our real
on the podcast today?
What about our real friend, David Cho, who actually got us into the building?
Oh, does he work security there or something?
Yeah, David Cho.
He works the door?
Toughest door in town. David Cho got us right in. Shout out to David Cho. And it's been a really productive time out here. So I ask you this, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've spent so much time thinking of a guest for our 250th episode that is based on the Upper West Side.
Mm-hmm.
Do we scrap that all?
Oh, and go for somebody who lives in L.A.?
Yeah, just on the West Side.
Okay. Maybe. How about? Okay, the woman who drove us, the Uber driver.
they're all, ladies and gentlemen. All we've done while we've been out here, I promise, is complain about Uber drivers.
Okay, how about the woman who drove us from Inglewood?
Yes.
To Koreatown.
Yeah.
And the entire time, 30 minutes straight, just
a run-on
speed
sentence.
talked.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no punctuation.
It was crazy.
And it was all about the places that she would drive while driving with Uber.
You know,
because sometimes you want to stay in Hollywood, and sometimes you want to go further out, maybe to West Hollywood.
Now you're sounding like it's a sketch on SNL.
No, but that's what she did.
This was like real life craziness, and
I don't know how you kept having a conversation with her. Well, I tuned out
because once you're in it, you can't just stop. That's the problem.
No, that sounds like Dan a cult.
Dan and I took an Uber to Staples.
Once you're in it, that sounds like meth.
No, Dan and I went to go to Staples, and we saw the Clippers and the Thunder. And the lift that Dan called, that guy was out of his mind crazy. And interestingly enough, was friends with the guy from Crazy Town. And we learned all about that guy's life.
But you didn't find out if it was Shifty or the other one that he's friends with.
Well, we can sort of do some detective work if we want, if I really cared that much, because the guy, he said, was on Dr. Drew. Like his rehab show. So I'm going to guess it's probably like the singer.
Well, Shifty sounds like somebody who'd be in rehab.
Well, here's what I really want to get to, Jeff.
Wait,
hold on.
Before you, I have to clear something up. I have to clear something up.
No.
I have to clear something up.
Why do you know who Shifty is?
Why do I know who Shifty is? I'm a big fan of Crazy Town.
All right, fine.
He's my friend.
There you go.
I do want to say we haven't only complained about Uber drivers, we also complained about Lyft drivers.
So we don't have a guest for episode 250.
Not yet.
I don't care where they are,
mm-hmm.
but I sort of care what their story is. Because last week we talked about, like, could it be any of these people who live around us who we don't know anything about? They must have a story. Everyone's got a story.
But they're personalities who like live near us. So
yeah, well, personalities, not that they're famous.
No, it's just like the people who work at our grocery store,
or the people at the ramen place, or the people at the subway station,
or the man with a cat in his head,
who I guess people have taken an interest in that guy.
Yeah, well, that guy has a lot of stories. So if you search for man cat head, he'll come up. And by the way,
if you search man cat head, do you find any pictures of a man's body with a cat?
I mean, probably, but this is the guy who gets the top results. This
is a man who walks around New York City with a cat who sits on his head, perched there, on a leash, though, but he walks around with him, balancing this cat on the head.
I got a lot of questions.
You got a lot of questions.
Also, again, people have found videos where they confirm that he does seem to be a dick.
You know,
not the cat. The cat, I'm sure, is lovely, but the person seems
then do we get the cat
like a real piece of work.
Do we get the cat on the podcast?
That is about as interesting as getting a piece of bread.
Well, if not him, then who?
If not the cat,
then who?
Who sits on the head of a man?
We have so many ideas on the Upper West Side, like the Jews who wait at the train station and ask us if we're Jewish.
Mm-hmm. They want us to get in the van and shake the lulav.
I wonder if those are the guys who get in the comments on the Locks page.
Oh, and say that the Locks are the real Jews?
Yes. Or they say, like, to us, are you Jewish? Like they're being sincere. We just read it wrong. You know, you can't really get emotion from a comment.
What about the guy who used to sit on a box outside of Dwayne Reed?
Yeah.
On like 94th?
Sure.
And he had one bit. Every single person who passed by, he would say, for $1, I'll tell you where you got your shoes. If I get it right, you give me $1. If I get it wrong, I give you $1.
Okay. Well, this is easy. I got my shoes from Nike because I'm an influencer.
Bam, 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 bam. And he would say, I don't give a fuck because you got them on your feet. Give me $1.
Ah. And by the way, he was right.
He was right.
It's great. It's
and you
a great
gave him $1,000.
But is there more to that guy's life?
Probably.
Guys, sure, why not? Let's go find that guy, get him on the podcast.
Anybody else?
The guys across the street who owned a barbershop / antique store /
you could buy and sell gold
reseller.
Yeah, I used to get my hair cut there. Not great haircuts, but
Dan's barber, by the way,
Joey Cuts.
Joey Cuts.
Do you think he was born with the name, or he was given the name?
You know, you have to grow up into this. You know.
Yeah.
Or did he change his name? Right, like what's the .com?
Kim.com.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you want to know who you should get?
Kim.com.
No, John McAfee.
Oh, yes.
John McAfee, the antivirus software entrepreneur,
magnate, yeah,
who moved down to Belize, has an insane documentary on HBO or something about him, and
it is insane. The whole thing is crazy.
His name. So after he like takes over this town,
yeah, in Belize,
builds up a huge compound.
Yep.
Enforces martial law. You can't
make it up.
He rides around in a pickup truck with like 6 dudes in the back with guns, like out in the open,
right?
Ready to enforce whatever
curfew.
Yeah,
he made
the
up
9 o'clock curfew.
Yeah,
and so he's like, I heard a noise over there. 2 guys, you jump out, you go that way.
My favorite thing is we went to dinner with our friend Abigail the other day, and when we told her this story, she was like, so where is he now? And we're like, actually, he ran for president of the United States of America in 2016. That's true. So
also, his neighbor's dog. No, his dog was shitting on his neighbor's property.
Yeah.
So his neighbor like poisoned the dog.
Is it too late to say spoiler alert?
Spoiler alert for this documentary that you all absolutely should see.
You should see it.
So he murdered his neighbor.
Yeah, you know. It's just, it all makes too much sense.
What? Oh. Dan says allegedly because he's our lawyer.
Right. All right, Jeff. Listen, none of these people are on the podcast today, but it doesn't mean that we can't get them for 5 episodes from now. This is episode 245, and Jeff, who's on it today?
Our friend Nelly Ortiz.
Nelly Ortiz from Roc Nation.
Will Nelly.
She is an artist manager, but she has specialties, as you know, in marketing and
puppetry.
So all you guys who have tuned in today to hear what she can do with a sock, it's your lucky day. No, shout out to Nelly, who's worked with everyone from DJ Khaled to J. Cole to Angie Martinez to Big Sean and Fabulous and Shakira and Belly and Vic Mensa and DJ Mustard, amongst others. Nelly is super talented, super smart, has a fantastic story, and has been bothering us for the longest time
to get on our podcast.
And
honestly, probably didn't know much about our podcast before.
She knows us. Yeah. She knows that we have a podcast.
And that's what's important.
But she just wanted to be a part of it, and it was our pleasure to welcome her to our home away from home.
In Koreatown of Los Angeles, California.
And you know what's really dope?
That we were able to talk about somebody who grew up in the military system.
Yeah.
And moved around so much.
Totally.
And how that shapes a person.
It's fantastic. She's extremely smart. She's dope at partnerships and marketing and management, and is celebrating her 6-year anniversary at Roc Nation coming up. And we get into all of that today. And by the way, we promised her that we would make mention that she's not just in the music business. She's in the coquito business.
Yeah, she makes coquito.
That is her brand, right?
Well, I named it.
Yeah. You took a sip and you thought,
that tastes like Puerto Rico.
You know, she works at Roc Nation, and she's like, have you had any other Puerto Ricans on the podcast?
Yes. We've had Lenny S.
and Angie Martinez.
Yeah, who were both at Roc
Nation.
Nation.
Shout out to Nelly. Shout out to all you guys who have been listening for this long. And please let us know on Instagram, on Twitter, who you think we should really have on our 250th episode.
Okay, I am lobbying for man with cat in his head.
And I am lobbying for that piece of bread. Jeff, when do you want to get into this episode?
Right now.
Yo, what up? It's Eric, a.k.a. Chili Cook-Off, a.k.a. Fuck Around to Get Smoked.
Yo, what up? It's Jeff, a.k.a. Wake Up and Shake the Block, a.k.a. Kelly Grippa.
Hi, it's Nelly Ortiz, a.k.a. Mommy Fuego.
Yeah, this is your third favorite podcast to waste time with ItsTheReal. Nelly, what's happening?
What's up, everybody?
Yo, there's that radio voice.
Hi, everybody.
It is so crazy how many people call you Mommy Fuego.
Yeah, it's really crazy. My mom, my dad, and my niece. Thus far, it's 2019, so it's not.
It's a door-to-door
over
campaign.
yet.
But
Yeah.
we're starting the year off right, though.
Yeah, we are. We
Yeah.
are. I made it.
You made Nelly
It's
for the
real.
for the longest time. You've wanted to be on this podcast.
By the way, not wanted. I think I actually bulldozed my way here. I don't know what I've done successfully to make it here.
Yeah.
But honestly, scam today before today scams you.
Right. You know what? You are a 30 under 30.
Yes.
You are a legend at your college.
Oh, God.
And no, you've done a lot of things professionally to get your way up here. But
Yes.
the best thing you've done is bother us relentlessly.
And then ask if Law has been on the podcast.
Shout out to Supreme Street.
That's
Yeah.
right. And here we are. It only took us coming to the West Coast to
Yeah.
actually get you on the podcast.
For sure.
Yeah.
And a FaceTime 2 days ago.
That's it.
To ask on a beautiful, blessed, sunny day in
International
Miami.
Women's Day.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, actually
You were in Miami.
I was in Miami.
Now you're back home.
I am.
You flew here just for this, so thank you for that.
I did. Yeah. Thank you for buying the ticket
You're
first
welcome.
class.
It's no problem.
I was
you
still
know.
by the restroom, but it's okay.
You know how
we'll
well we're
get
doing
there.
out here.
Yeah,
We
dope.
could just like whatever.
Yeah,
so,
dope. No problem.
anyway.
Flyout season has commenced.
That's right. When you are down in Miami, obviously you're working down there with Khaled, but when you're down there, do you see a lot of your family?
Well, they're in Tampa.
Okay.
So if
maybe?
I have, so maybe it just depends on the length of the trip.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll rent a car. I'll just drive up. It's like for normal people, it's probably 4 hours, 4.5 hours.
But for
speed limit.
celebrities?
Hello, 2.5, 3 depends on how heavy your foot
I
is
was
on
just
the
gonna
gas.
say, Have
It's
you
like,
been pulled over?
oh my God, don't jinx it. No, I have not. Do not jinx it. I don't know what I would do. I honestly have thought, do I cry?
Right.
Yeah.
Do I pretend I don't speak English and just in Spanish? But then,
What if they speak Spanish?
They speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Five times out of 10.
What if you become very combative and be like, I'm filming you?
Right. You pull over.
Right.
You pull out your license and registration and badge number.
Yeah.
Haven't thought that one out completely. Don't know if it would work in my favor, but I'm willing to try it out.
Why would you cry?
Honestly, it seems like the right thing to do.
In front of like a big sort of like beefy masculine cop?
Yes.
What happens if it's a woman?
female.
Yes. Yeah. Or you know what? Just don't speed, right?
Yeah. Maybe just like
Yeah.
Yeah. Hands
and
outside
just-
the window.
Yeah, just like, hey, you could take the car. At this point, just take it.
Right.
I don't want it.
Just
I'll
start
walk.
running.
Yeah, I'll call. My Lyft is on the way. So,
You don't drive out here though.
oh yeah, I do. In
you
LA,
do?
I do.
Not
the
today.
only place, not today, because I was late because of my shout out to Uber.
Yep.
Always use Lyft. Thank you. Use
Oh.
the promo code. Just kidding.
Yeah.
That would be so dope if I had a promo code. In New York, where I was for like 6.5 years, 7 years almost, I
Long
did
time.
not drive at all. But up until like from when I was 15 on, I've driven.
Do you feel like a real Angelino out here?
Is that the code word for like people that live here?
That's the Lyft
Yeah.
code.
Get 10% off of your ride in Los Angeles. I don't. I think because I've traveled a lot last year. It's
Yeah.
actually going to be my 1 year, April 1st or
Oh,
2nd.
April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally where I was like, psych, came all the way out here. Just kidding. But yeah, I don't know if I feel it yet. I feel more here than I did, or than I do, I should say, like going back to New York and missing it and feeling as if that's home. But I think it's going to take me another year. People have told me it takes minimum 2 years to get used to being out here and getting the hang of it. But I travel a lot too.
Do you
so.
eat like a Los Angelino?
Yes, I do. Right now, I'm a vegan, not because I want to change my lifestyle.
No, it's because you want the Jay and Beyonce tickets.
Yeah.
I'm dieting for my birthday. I'm going to be 22 years old. Oh. So, sorry, years young.
Yes,
And, I just need that six pack.
Okay.
That I think only veganism.
So you're eating right?
Yeah.
Are you hiking right?
Define hiking.
Going to Runyon Canyon?
Yeah, when you're going to Carl's Jr.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to the second floor.
Exactly. Going to the McDonald's playpen and just
Sure.
enjoying some French fries there.
Yeah.
I don't hike as much as like when I used to visit LA for work. I used to hike a lot. Like I would just Saturday morning I'll do brunch afterwards. I hear that's a thing. Hike and brunch.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Let me just go work off some calories and then just drink everything back.
Yep.
Dope.
Yeah.
My body doesn't work like that because I gain weight crazy. So I like that sound you made afterwards. That's sad.
Yeah.
It's disappointing that I gain weight crazy.
I
It's okay.
see.
I'm disappointed too.
Yeah. Eric was like, I see your future.
She's an Aries. But I go to the gym, I would say, more out here. Or just
Okay.
run on the street.
Where are you originally from?
Well, here we go.
All right.
Yep.
Life story.
Yeah.
So my parents are in the military. They're Puerto Rican.
Both of them in the military?
Both of them were in the military.
Is that where they met?
Yes.
Wow.
And then my dad was in, I forget what war. Was it the Desert Storm?
Sure.
1992. Yeah, 91.
91.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was born in 80. Let's
Something.
just say
Yeah.
1997.
Yeah.
94. Anyways, so I was actually born in Germany.
Where in Dusseldorf?
Würzburg.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
I think that's how you pronounce it. I actually
Sure.
don't know. Is it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yo, you just look so
German?
sure.
Yeah.
You were just yeah, sure. Yeah. So I was there for 3 years or so, and then literally came to Georgia, I think it was, and I've lived in 12 or 13 different places since.
What?
Yeah.
So what is home then?
It's interesting. I don't actually have a home. So my family, my nuclear unit, I should say, is in Tampa.
Okay.
But my family is in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's basically
it's
it.
your parents and you,
And my sister.
and your sister is how old?
I'm
What's the age
2
difference?
years.
2 years
Older
than you. Okay. So you guys moved down to Georgia and spent how much time down there?
Every move was between a year and 3 years.
What was that like in terms of your social life or getting to know other kids, or did you just have this sense that, oh, well, I'm only going to be here for a little while, fuck it?
Yeah. What's interesting is that I don't know why from an early age I was just if I don't at least try and be friends, or at least be nice, because it's you can't be friends with everyone. That's just life in general. If you can't be nice to people, then people just automatically you just repel them, right? But if you're nice, people find it hard to not at least want to be nice to you back. And so you hear stories, and it really happens in military homes and children and always being displaced and all of that, where you'll eat your lunch in a bathroom stall, or you'll skip lunch or recess because you don't have friends and all of that. For whatever reason, I was just I can't do that. So I literally the shortest I've been somewhere is probably 4 to 6 months or something like that. And even then, every move, it was so hard to miss my friends or be away from my friends. But it's you, as in life, you just kind of adapt to where you're going. Your personality adapts to all the different personalities that you've met along the road.
Sure.
And kind of builds your story that way.
Does that make you and your sister very close then, because you had each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But she is a Pisces and I'm an Aries.
Here we go.
Yes.
So what's her problem?
She's actually
It's not her fault she was born then.
No,
Jen.
Yeah.
As
Thank you.
As an Aries,
you.
what's the deal with Pisces?
No. Okay, here's what I'll say. We're actually polar opposites. She's black and I'm white. So she's emotional, I'm not.
She's a water sign and you are
Correct. I'm
fucking
Mommy
fire.
Fuego.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm literally Mommy Fuego with a ram. Isn't that what the sign
That's
is?
what
think
Aries
so,
is. Yeah.
And in Chinese, it's a snake for whatever reason.
Well,
Damn.
because we
I know,
can't
it's a
trust
little
you.
weird.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, tell me how you really feel on and offline.
I just did. I'm a Leo.
Yeah, clearly it shows.
So you guys were tight then.
Yes.
What kind of things were you guys into?
Man, you know what we used to do? We used to, like, when Backstreet Boys and, like, Britney Spears was, like, super popular, like, we made up our own group. It was called, oh my God, what was it called? Was it like the Flower Girls or something? I thought this was a judgment-free zone.
It is a judgment-free zone, you're right.
No, dope.
Can we look you guys up on the internet?
Absolutely not. This was before the internet. So the internet did not exist at this time, and we would literally choreograph songs that, like, was it S Club 7 and Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, and then we would also make our own music. And we had like this dope karaoke machine. It was my sister's, and it had a microphone, and we would just bring it out to the cul-de-sac that we lived in, and like all of the neighborhood kids would come, and we would just all be dancing and stuff. Then amazing. Our parents would come home and be like, "All right, dope, we have to do homework, so we're gonna see you tomorrow, 4 o'clock."
Sorry, Flower Girls.
Yeah. I think I was Daisy.
You were Daisy of the Flower Girls?
Yeah.
Oh, you had like a whole character.
Yeah, we were all flowers.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
wait, when you say we were all, it was just you and your sister though?
No, it was like 5 of us. You know, you can't be a girl group without 5 people.
Oh, right. But
or
also
like
you can't have a girl group without a leader. So was that Daisy?
Ah, God. I don't know. I don't know which one of the Flower Girls are listening.
Oh,
right
no.
Now, so,
Okay. Oh, great. Let's not.
You know, I just want to keep it behind us.
That's
2019
fine.
is our year.
That's
you know,
fine.
we all win. You know, we all win.
So how tough was it to actually pack up and leave like on the regular?
It got easier, if that makes like any
As you
sense.
got older?
Yes.
Like middle school to high school, like that got easier?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, was there like a conversation that your parents would have? It would be like, okay, we're moving again. Like what do you remember of like those conversations as like the youngest that you were when you remember it, and the oldest? Like, what's the difference between those?
Like now thinking about it, like I just remember a couple of times like just being called down to the principal's office, and like my parents were there with like, and me and my sister would get called to the principal's office, and they're just like, hey, we have to go, and like that would be it, and we would just like have to walk out, because sometimes like they would just get assigned, not randomly, but like, you know, not with enough lead time
on a November day.
Yeah. Just like random, yeah.
And you get in the car and you're off to another city?
Yeah, like
that's
the
it?
movies have already come and kind of all of that, yeah. But when it got to like middle school and high school, there was more lead time. Because I guess from what I remember, I used to move, like me and my sister would either move with my dad when he would go somewhere, be stationed somewhere, and then my mom would stay behind, or like my mom would go somewhere and then my dad would stay behind. So it's like, even though they were married, it was kind of like a single parent household for portions of time, and then the other one would come visit, etc. And then I guess there was a program in the military. I haven't been in the military, so I'm only speaking from what I think. They had this marital program where basically, like, let's say you're sent to Jacksonville, Florida, your spouse would then be positioned or like, you know, put in a position in Jacksonville, Florida, or in the neighboring area, so your family could stay together.
What was your relationship with the base like? And what branch of the service were your
Army,
okay. What was your relationship with the Army base like?
You know what's funny is that we literally only used to go on base to like shop for groceries or go to the PX. Lit. There's no taxes. Everything is like amazing prices, like designer handbag, like literally electronic, like everything. You literally, there's bowling alleys, there's movie theaters. Base life is actually great, but we never actually lived on a base. We always lived off of base.
Were all your neighbors' kids also Army kids?
It depends, because there aren't a lot of cities, I guess, that have like Air Force and Army bases like in the immediate area and stuff, but there are like a couple. But for the most part, I think they were same branch.
Where'd you spend your high school years?
Half in Tampa, half like 15 minutes outside of like East St. Louis on the Illinois side.
Oh, wow.
So that was like at the height of like, you know, like the Saint Lunatics and and here and like all of that. So yeah, with a name like Nelly in high school, it just,
you were killing it.
I don't know if I was killing it. More so the jokes were killing me.
Right.
You know? Like, hey, can you rap hot in here? Isn't it getting hot in here? And it's like,
and you said yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. You know? I don't know what else to do. So
what size was your basketball jersey?
Oh God. Triple XL. Yeah. You know? Just so it hung down to my knees. I'm also little, so
do you have some sort of reaction every time the beat starts? You're just like, oh God, no, not this.
No, I'm actually numb to it all.
Yeah.
So, you know, that and Nelly Furtado, that was another one. Like, hey, can you sing like a bird? Are you like a bird? It's like, I don't know the answer to that question, but I know you guys want me to say yes.
Right.
Because Nelly Furtado says she's like a bird. She wants to fly away. So I'm just going to go with it. and cry.
Well, follow-up question. Did you want to fly away?
Wow, that's deep. I don't know if we can go there right now.
Do you want to know where your home is?
Are you reciting lyrics to me right now? Dope. Because you know she did an interpretive dance in that video.
I did not know that.
So are you going to do that too?
Yes. Yeah. 2, 3, 4.
What were you like in high school?
The same. I would say the same that I am now.
Driven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Were you like studious?
Yes. I love I wouldn't say I love studying. I like school. For whatever reason, I know like it's all theory, right? It's like, okay, statistics, like how am I going to use that to do laundry? Like it's just like there are some things that just practically you're just like, this is great to know in theory, but like not practical for everybody else, right? So in that sense, I like to learn theory and all of that. But I like to balance learning theory with like on the job or like doing actual life things that you can learn from and kind of marry them together, if that makes sense. But I love it. Like I went for my MBA, like.
Yeah, but even before you get there, what was your first job in high school?
Oh, I've had like every job. What was I? A bagger. No, I was a cashier. I was the best cashier Publix ever saw.
Publix down in Florida.
Absolutely.
Yep. And you worked what kind of shift? Like after school?
Yeah, after school until the store closed at like 10, 11. I'm looking at you like you worked at Publix and you're nodding.
I grew up in Florida. Yeah.
Did you love
Publix
it?
has great sandwiches.
Yeah, dope. By the way, yes, they do. They absolutely
What's
do.
the most underrated thing about Publix?
Underrated thing about Publix? Everyone knows how bomb their sandwiches are because like BuzzFeed I think did an article like 5 years ago really put them
you
on.
might be it from Publix.
Yeah, right. You know, like a list.
Yeah.
Honestly, I used to go, and I forgot who put me on. I used to go to the seafood section, and they would devein shrimp, like a pound of shrimp, which is like, I don't know, maybe like 15 pieces, 20 pieces if it's on sale that week.
Like a pound or something, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And they would like take off like the
tails.
The tails. Yeah, that too. There's that. They would steam it and put Old Bay on it, and it would be like, my mouth is watering. It would be like $2.50 or something like that, and you would literally have like steamed, like prime steamed, like big ass, like, can I curse here?
Oh,
I
yes.
can.
Yeah.
Big ass shrimp. But like you would feel like you're eating, and then you'd open your eyes. You're like, oh wow, I'm still wearing a uniform, and I'm a cashier at Publix. So I think that's overrated. And their produce section, for whatever reason, is like bomb. Like you'll never find. You know, you go to like X grocery store, and you're just like, ooh, those bananas have been there a little too long. Like everything at Publix was just so
fresh,
pristine, and yes,
yeah, like
hands down. Like I did not hate that job at all.
What is the worst grocery store you've been to? Shout out to Piggly Wiggly.
Man.
In high school, you're driven, you're studious, you're destined for college.
Was there any chance that you would go into the military?
I actually, funny thing. So I actually thought about it, because in the military you get, with the exception of obviously maybe deploying for war, deploying like abroad, and you know, not seeing your family and stuff, like everything else is pretty great. I mean, obviously, like you have a job that, like, trade wise, shout out to the military, because honestly, like you can really do anything that you could not being enlisted. You know, great benefits. Growing up in the military, I actually didn't hate it. There are a lot of people that I think are children that resent it, but like I actually, when you're older, you actually appreciate the sacrifices that your parents went through, and like my parents from like Puerto Rico to like where they are now, you know, like, by the way, I really love my family, so like if I talk about them a lot, just FYI. But I actually, like, I had dinner with my dad one time, and I was like in the middle of like filling out college applications and scholarships and grants and all this, and I was like, actually, like, what if I just went into the military? Because I'm like, I look at my parents and they're like, you know, like in the ranks and like high, you know, like officials and stuff, and I'm like, that's dope. Like, they're setting a great example for me. And my dad actually told me, he was like, I see too much for you to go into the military, because I wouldn't want you to be confined to the boundaries that the military has for like even marketing or like just in general. He's like, you're too big, your personality is too big for the military.
And you didn't see that for yourself? Like, you didn't see that within yourself? I
could see it for myself, but I actually like took that and I thought about it, and I was like, he's definitely right. Yeah.
Did you win any superlatives in high school?
I was most likely to be famous.
Whoa.
And I actually ran for homecoming and prom court.
That's dope.
Yeah, my posters were sick.
What
it was
were they?
like, it was me and my, shout out to my friend Katarina. We literally spent like a week doing this. It's like we made like My Girl Wants to Party All the Time posters. And it was like a cutout picture of like Eddie Murphy and like me, like, you know, kind of doing the same thing, except we don't really look alike.
Yeah.
And it was like a bunch of like, you know, at that time it was like, oh my God, who was it? Like Chris Crocker was like just getting on YouTube and like getting big and stuff. I think I did like a poster of like, oh my God, shoes. Remember? Like, oh my God, shoes.
Yeah.
And then the blueberry guy, like I did like just basically like memes as posters. Damn, I should have kept those posters, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, like leave
Shit.
Nelly alone?
No, it was literally like it wasn't there was I don't even think there was anything on there. It was like
You
pictures
just
of these
put a
memes.
picture of Chris Crocker, and you were just like,
Vote Nelly properly. That's actually exactly what happened. It's just like shocking that I didn't
were
win.
you running against Britney?
Yeah.
Yes.
A girl named Britney?
No. I actually forget who won.
I'm
I was
trying
really
to
pissed
find
I
the
didn't
connection.
win. By the way, same. And I was actually there when I made them, and I remember thinking to myself and even out loud, wow, this is a really good idea.
Yeah.
You know, but it's okay. We're just talking through
That's
it.
that's totally
Yeah,
fine.
totally fine.
So you applied to all these different colleges. Was there ever a chance that you were going to go like very far away? Did you ever think like, oh, maybe I'll go to the University of Hawaii? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of my places that I moved was Hoover, Alabama. It's my favorite place to live, by the way. Of everywhere. I've lived in like Wichita, but like, you know, shout out to Wichita.
Yeah.
Wait,
Shit
can
sucks.
you run through them all? What? Can you run through them all really quick?
Yes. So not in any specific order. So Wichita, Indianapolis, Chicago, the Great Lakes, O'Fallon, Hoover, Atlanta, Tampa, I'm in New York, obviously LA.
But those two are as an adult.
As these are as adults, yeah.
Yeah.
Or as an adult. I'm missing two other ones.
Mississippi?
San
Let's
Diego-
just start
Diego?
listing
Yeah.
states.
Yeah, San Diego's a big one.
Yeah, but that's Navy, I think, out there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You
Normally
said
when I'm looking at a map,
you
it's
didn't say
easier.
Germany for this. Is that one?
Oh, Germany. Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
So,
So that's
but out of all the ones that you've named, Hoover, Alabama is your favorite place you've lived.
yes.
Why?
Everyone was just so nice, and you know, I really can't pinpoint it. It was like not anything out of the ordinary. It's clean, super clean. Like my favorite Chinese restaurant, like my favorite hot and sour soup is
from
this
Hoover, Alabama?
Yes, you wouldn't think so. Yeah.
I
Hoover,
wouldn't
I
think so.
still don't think
Yeah.
so.
You've
No,
lived in
so
New
good.
York and
Yes.
Los Angeles.
Yes, no, I know. Let me see what else. It's just like
What was the name of the Chinese? Was it Chinese restaurant?
the Chinese restaurant.
Was it Chinese restaurant
Actually,
too?
Yeah.
I don't remember, and that's so unfortunate.
Have you been back?
I have not been back since I moved.
Do you think you would get like a certain feeling like within your soul, like once you cross city lines?
I don't know if I would. I feel like I would almost, I don't know, want to see like what's changed, because like I have a crazy fun fact. Number one, I have a crazy photographic memory, like crazy. Like I'll never get lost ever in life going one way.
Directions.
Yeah, like I'm really.
Can you
good with
read a
that.
book and just take it in immediately?
No. So like with words,
Yeah.
it's a little different because I also have like my mind drifts really easily.
Right,
so I'll
but
find-
drop you in the jungle and you'll be okay.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure. Like
great.
I'll remember this tree,
Yeah.
the sunlight, the whatever, like this place that we're at right now.
Yeah.
I passed literally my Uber. Shout out to Uber, you suck. Just kidding. We passed it, and then I came back and I was like, oh, I've been here. I came here last June at this time with my friend, and I texted my friend when I was in the elevator on the way up, like, hey, I'm at this place that you love.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And I never even came inside of this place. I
Right.
just passed by it with her.
But it sparked that memory.
Correct.
So
I'd like to just give a fun fact about
Here we go.
Hoover, Alabama,
Yeah.
if I can.
Let's do it. Let's get it poppin'.
The city of Hoover was incorporated in 1967, named for William H. Hoover, a local insurance company owner and co-founder of the American States Rights Association, which promoted white supremacy and neo-Nazism in its
Oh.
publications. Tell me more about
Oh,
why
wow.
you enjoy
it
it.
was moving in a direction, then it took a slight turn.
I thought this was gonna be more like memory lane. It's like uncomfortable lane right now for me.
It also has a nice
you know?
galleria.
Yeah, the mall.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
No, can we go back to the basketball jersey part? Like that was That was fun.
Also, another
that.
fun fact: my mom left me one time at the library
By
in
accident?
Hoover, Alabama. Yeah.
Do you think your mom's listening right now?
No, but if I send it to her, she will. She will. Well, she has an Android. My dad has an iPhone.
Well, that doesn't matter
Yeah,
because
you
this
can-
podcast plays anywhere. So,
I tried it. I did.
do
try
they?
it. I'm sorry for
do
that.
they get excited about like everything you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. It's actually really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought when I made the 40 under 40. Actually, fun fact number 2.
Yeah.
You guys were the ones that actually broke it to me. That
was a good day.
It came out
That
and
was a good
everything.
day. We broke it to you, and who else congratulated you? Did Lenny S?
He did.
Friend of the room, Lenny
Yes,
S.
absolutely.
So-
Absolutely.
Where did you graduate high school? In Tampa?
Yes, in Tampa.
Okay. And was there a thought that you would go far away, stay close? Where did you want to go?
I wanted to go to Auburn. So that's my that was actually my goal and like my
You wanted to become a
dream.
Tiger.
Yes, War Eagle, baby.
And what kept you from going to Auburn?
The tuition, which in retrospect, and I'm not a fan of regret, because life lesson number 1 for me, I used to regret a lot of things that I would do, like what if I would have done this instead of this, and that's a life. That's a human.
What if the Flower Girls would have?
Yeah,
you know,
stuck
like what if
together.
we would have taken off? You
Yeah.
know, what if we bought a camcorder and like
life's not
sent it to
about-
Disney?
life's
but
not about
you
those
know,
regrets, you know?
Yeah, we're here. You know, and
That's the last
windbreakers
great
and stuff.
song or group you're going to be a part of. Come on.
Yeah, like hello.
Yeah.
You know, I'm here with you guys.
Yeah, exactly
It's
right.
the real.
Yeah.
Plus Nelly. But so the tuition was crazy.
But
like,
why did
crazy.
you want to go there? Like, was there a program you wanted to get into, or was it just like, that's a big school, they have great
Yeah.
school spirit,
And
you're
you
like,
look good in orange, and that's it.
yeah,
Absolutely. Well, by the way, I look good in every
any
color.
color.
Camo.
Thank you
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Camo.
Camo.
What?
Just 'cause
The army.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought
both
it
of
was
us
some,
were like,
backwoods, like, you
excuse
know,
me,
yeah,
like
redneck thing.
come again? What was that? I remember like, because I was in Tampa at the time, and so another fun fact: when I transferred from Illinois to Florida for high school, I had like, even in just transferring and being kind of like, I wouldn't say mediocre student, but like I would say average, like a little bit above average student. When I transferred to Florida, I had like a 4.7 or something stupid GPA, because the grade inflation was like,
Yeah.
it was actually a lot. Sorry, Tampa. It was a lot. And so they had this program, I don't know if they still have it, it's called Bright Futures, which is like a scholarship program. So I think what I remember is at the time there was like a 25%, there was a 75%, and there was an 100% as far as like school wise. Like if you went to a Florida school because you're an in-state student, they would offset your tuition costs, but you have to make a certain GPA and you have to pass the ACT?
Yep.
Yeah, because Florida's ACT,
Well,
not
I
just
mean-
SAT.
They do both.
They do both, but I think you have to take both.
Okay.
Yeah, or at least I did. I had taken the SAT once in Illinois, and then I had to take the ACT for whatever reason. So then I had like 75% with Bright Futures, and I remember like all my college applications, like a bulk of them were like Florida schools. I think I applied to like one Ivy League just to say that I did it. I don't think I heard back from them. And then I applied to Auburn, and I think I got accepted, but the tuition was so crazy because at that point I was an out-of-state student, right? So it's like something that's $20 for someone that lives in Alabama is like $45,000, you know.
It's a little jump.
Yeah, it's like a crazy spike. So it's just like, damn, you're kind of like killing people's dreams that just really want to go to your school,
Yeah.
you know,
So
collegiate programs.
So you went to
USF,
University of South Florida,
Yes.
which is located where?
Tampa.
Okay. So the funny thing about that is that University of Central Florida is located in like southern
Orlando.
Florida. Yeah. And Tampa is more
West?
central. Yeah. Like it is west, but like right?
It's in like.
So it goes Tampa. Wait, hold on.
This is great
This is-
for an audio only podcast. But,
I'm drawing on the wall, everybody. Just, you just got to picture it. So this is the Panhandle.
Yeah.
This is Tampa. And then north here in the center is UCF. And then you have like FIU over here. Then there's Florida Atlantic University is in Jacksonville up here. And then UM is down here.
And then where's
in Miami.
Bath Salt University?
Oh,
Or is
that's
that-
definitely
is that Bath
in
Salt
this
College?
area right here. For the crowd, I'm circling Miami. Miami-Dade, for sure. No, for sure.
305.
For sure. Yeah.
So you go to USF.
Yes.
And what do you find yourself majoring in there?
Marketing.
Why?
Because I like business, in the sense that I'm a creative, but I'm also like, I like structure and I like things to be more so black and white too, to kind of fall within the lines. And I felt like marketing, I do still feel like marketing is such a broad spectrum, because in marketing you can either be in sales or you can be an advertising executive, and it's like you could literally do almost anything.
But what did you know about marketing before? Like, this is before Mad Men.
Which I just started watching, by the way.
You just started watching
Mad Men. Mm-hmm.
Why?
Wow, get into it.
I don't know.
What sparked it?
I don't know. It's like literally you go on Netflix and you're like, oh, what are the things I should be binge watching? Like, I watched Dexter last year and I was like, wow, why did I not watch Dexter? I actually just watched Game of Thrones like in November. I binge watched all of it.
Up,
yeah.
Sure.
My favorite thing is, so our friend Kaz just started watching Game of Thrones and he's like, wow, this show is fire. And I'm like, good, way to, breaking news.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kaz.
Yeah. You're like 7 years too late, but dope. And I just got into Arrested Development, which is so interesting because
it was on in 2002.
Well, that too, and I was only like 3 years old. But I feel like a lot of like, at least even the way that I speak to you guys on and off the microphone, because we're friends, we're like witty. We're just like quick with it and sarcastic.
Exactly right.
And then I'm watching the show and I'm like, wow, this is
not
exactly
the only one.
Yeah. But it's like,
made the show are.
Why would
I'm actually like 10 years
not
late
watch this?
in realizing that too. I don't know.
What other pop culture blind spots do you have? Like, we didn't, for a very, very long time, we had not seen Star Wars. Didn't care, didn't want to see it. And then, like, Just Blaze made us see it.
Yeah.
And so, like, do you have any... And I still have a lot of movie blind spots, I feel like.
Like classic movies that
that
people
I haven't
think
seen.
you should have seen.
Yeah.
Damn, if it's just TV shows, I would really say like, what's the one, the guy with like the meth lab?
Breaking Bad.
Yes.
You've never seen it?
In Sons of Anarchy. So I saw
I haven't seen Sons of Anarchy.
We should watch it together. That would actually be fire.
Fuego.
So, Mommy Fuego. So, what was the first one I said?
Breaking
Bad. Yeah, so I saw one episode and I was like, ugh, I can't get into this. And everyone always says you have to get past the first episode because that's the pilot episode. You have to wait for people to get into their flow. Then I went back and watched the second episode. I was like, ugh, I can't get into it. And then that same person was like, yeah, you got to make it like to 4 episodes. I'm like, listen, idiot, you told me to make it past 1, and I did, and I'm still not into it. So I need to go back and I feel binge watch it, and I'll be good.
And then you'll text that person, and you'll be like, here I am.
I don't think I'm friends with that person anymore.
All right.
Yeah, it seems like they let me down too much.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it's like, how can I trust anything you say?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Maybe you can hit them up and be like, look, you were right. It's great. I made it through. No? Anyway.
By the way, I'm wrong. I think Kaz is actually binging Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Still
I may
great.
get into it.
Yeah,
Still
whatever.
great.
It does, like, literally nobody cares. Anyway.
And True Blood. I did that one early last year.
I don't care to. No? Good?
Yeah.
Changed your life?
Well, let's not do that because they're like vampires and like, crazy shit.
Sure.
But it was like The Walking Dead sexier, but like also like 10 years ago too. It's like all these shows were like 10 years.
So you watch all of them with the flip phones and you're like, yeah, I get it. I remember
It's like,
them.
call the police. It's like, beep, beep, beep. Hello? Versus just like the emergency ring on iPhone.
Right. I was like, that's so different on an iPhone.
Yeah.
No, on an iPhone, all you got to do is like tap it 3 times or whatever.
Man. Do you guys remember
sounds.
sending texts on like
the
regular
A.
like T9 keyboards? That shit sucked. Also, fun fact number 3.
Yep.
I did not have like texting or like unlimited. I had to pay per text, and so I couldn't text for the longest times. And my friends, when texting was cool, would text me, and I'd have to call them and be like, "Hey, don't text me because it's costing me money." With the 15 minutes that I had on my family plan.
Right.
So
you basically had a beeper.
Yeah, you had a beeper.
Yes, I had a one-way beeper because I couldn't even beep the other person back. I had to call them.
Just write them a postcard.
Yeah.
Like literally the worst.
Yeah.
The worst.
So would you drive and like just text knowing like where you were on the keyboard but still watch the road?
No.
You wouldn't do that.
Yeah. I used to get very like
paranoid that you get pulled over?
Yeah. Well, no, not
Or-
that.
well,
Maybe
because
just get
accidents.
hurt. Yeah.
If you got pulled over, then you would either cry or
Right. Sure.
Throw the flip phone at them, hopefully hurt them, run away.
Yeah, sure.
Because Lyft doesn't exist at that point,
We have to think
hitchhiking.
10 years ago.
By the way, This is neither here nor there. I feel like we've already gone too far afield for this conversation. We're having to bring it back at a later point.
Yeah.
But I just learned that you can send like messages on potatoes, and you can like mail them.
What?
You can.
Come again?
What? You can mail a potato.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was a Shark Tank idea. You can also do this for.
And people invested in it.
Yeah.
Dope. No,
Wait,
cool,
Jeff,
cool.
No. Hold on. Pitch it to Nelly like she is the marketer that she is on Shark Tank.
All right. Yeah. Do you want to potato into this potato?
No. Because you know at the end you have to have some sort of dumb
Yeah.
pun for them.
How is that not good?
Because this is good, Jeff.
Wait.
Which one of you wants skin in the game?
Oh, that's really good, actually.
Right.
That's actually really good.
Thank you.
I
So I
like
thought you were
that.
going to do something with spuds. So it's like, do you want the spud in your blood?
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I'm only looking at you for the rest of this.
No, that's
yeah,
fair. That's
it's
fair.
uncomfortable
I
on
thought
the
you were
other
going to be like,
side.
I've never seen Shark Tank.
But no, I have.
Yeah.
No, like
Yeah.
I won't binge watch
You
that
can
one.
also send a message with a brick.
Okay.
It's legal.
You know what? I think I'm done here. I'm
So-
going to turn off the mic.
Jeff's
So back
talking
to the
about-
college
yeah.
thing.
Well, yeah. How'd you-
But you didn't even let me pitch back. Like I want 50% equity. What are you valuing your company at?
Oh, right.
at?
$6 million.
Dope. That's a lie.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm out. You know, they're always so nice.
know.
Like, wow, you have such a great sense of humor and you're so bubbly and you're so cheery. But unfortunately,
Right. Mm.
I like my
I'm
potatoes baked, not fried.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
And then Mr.
You know?
Wonderful comes in. He's like, here's a predatory deal. Take it or leave it.
Give me
Yeah.
your company. Actually sign on the line right here in front of the cameras.
Well, which
God
shark
bless you.
would you want to get into business with? Just personality wise.
Who was the guy that was on Dancing with the Stars?
Robert?
Robert?
Yeah, I think him.
Why?
He just I don't know what it is.
I wish you were gonna be like his hair.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say his eyes. To be honest with you, nice piercing
Trusting-
blue
oh,
eyes.
no, okay.
Piercing's not a good thing, huh?
No,
It
no.
is. Yeah,
It's
I think
dark.
it can
I
be.
think it's, you know.
Yeah, like
I think
direct.
that Robert Hoover had piercing blue eyes.
Who's Robert? Oh my God! Here we go.
Nelly, what did you like about marketing? Why did you want to get into marketing in college?
Because I felt like I had a lot of crazy ideas, or I would appreciate just like things at that time that were happening, which I can't even name, but just like, you know, like I'd like to talk to people, you know, and I like to be
So
outgoing.
it
and
could
all
have been
of
in
that.
advertising.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like when I was getting out of college, I like applied to like advertising agencies in Tampa and like in Chicago and New York and all these things. Of course, didn't get a call back. But I was applying to like these places. I was applying to magazines and stuff like that too.
Well, so by the end of your college career, if
Mm-hmm.
you're so set on advertising, marketing, whatever, where do you go after graduation?
So, another fun story. Gosh, we could just go forever, huh? Do you guys know what a Fulbright is?
Yes.
The ETA,
scholarship.
the English Teaching Assistantship or Association, whatever the A stands for. So I graduated late, let's just say like after 2010 to not pigeonhole me,
Sure, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so they made their decisions. They made their first round decisions by September, which I was still in school by September. And then they made their final round decisions by like April of the following year.
So this is your senior year.
My senior year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm not even going to find out if I get the Fulbright until after I basically graduate. Right. So I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do. This is where this side kind of goes. Cause I was like, oh, I'm so ethical. I learned in my business courses that like, you know, 70% of like, you know, the highest cost of hiring someone is in benefits and in their first 3 months, you know, with like benefits and shit. So I was like, I don't want to do that to a company. I'm ethical. What else can I do? And like, you know, it's either an internship or a part-time job. And I'm like, I
Sure.
don't want a part-time job. I did have a part-time job.
Where?
And at a restaurant in Florida. I was the hostess with the mostest.
Whoa.
I really only applied for the job because they said there was free food. And there was.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
So 3? Sure. Hold on. Right?
Right, exactly.
Could I be a good host?
Yeah, you want me to like work 2 days out of the week, but I get lunch and dinner and a soda? Fuck yeah! Like,
Did you
it was
like
amazing.
your coworkers?
I did. Actually, one of my best friends who will be with me for my birthday, I actually met her at the restaurant.
Shout her out.
Anna.
Nice shout out to
Shout
Anna.
out to Anna.
Do you get part of the tips?
No, I did not. At that
It's
specific
just
restaurant.
Very
no.
ethical.
You know, it's like I'm not here slaving away. Shout out to all the waiters and waitresses.
Or the waitresses or the busboys.
And bartenders too.
Bartenders, so they all share the tips.
I don't know if they share. I think the bartenders would share, and then the waiters and waitresses would actually, I think, keep their own, but they would have to keep tabs of their own.
And the hostess,
you just get free food. So I mean, honestly, that was more than enough for me.
Great,
right?
You know, that's literally it.
So that you had that going on, and you're waiting.
Yes.
So you're waiting, but not waiting.
Correct. So
thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
For the audio listeners, he put his hand up as if he was serving.
Oh, I thought you were doing an ASMR thing. Like you were gonna start chewing.
By the way, fun fact number. I forget the number already. Yeah, 4 or 5.
Oh, 5.
Am I at 5?
Wow, I thought we were 4.
Let's just do 5. It just seems fun.
Yeah.
Give 2 fun facts.
Yeah.
I was eating a pickle not on the way over here because that's messy, but at my apartment before I came over here, and I actually thought like, oh my god, how funny would it be if like I brought a pickle and like we like, you know, but that's weird, so I'm gonna stop saying it.
For the podcast.
I know, yeah.
I should have just kept it inside my head, to be honest with you. We're gonna cut that out.
Hey guys, it's Jeff here from the podcast, and I just want to let you know that you should buy yourself a mug. You should not just buy yourself a mug, like a regular mug. Go to ItsTheReal.com/shop. Buy an It's The Real mean mug today. It's only $15.
And where can people find it?
At ItsTheReal.com/shop. By the way, we are $15 away from getting home to New York.
Okay.
We just need somebody to buy one mug.
All right, so here's what we're going to do,
so
guys.
we can buy a plane ticket back to New York.
If you want us to return to the Upper West Side and all of our possessions and belongings and family, rally around us.
Yeah. We're just $15 away.
Buy that mug. Also, I'm going to be honest, we won't be able to send you a mug unless we get home to that mug.
Yeah.
Go to ItsTheReal.com/shop and get an It's The Real mean mug and get your boys home.
I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I'll proudly support all the men who bought mugs, gave that right to me. And I'll proudly send you a mug today.
Now back to the podcast.
What was the question?
There was something about you were waiting for a Fulbright scholarship.
Yes. Yeah, school, whatever.
Yeah.
So graduated. Ended up, like, before I graduated, I'm a psycho. Not really, everybody. But I had an Excel sheet of, like, you know, everywhere that I had applied for, like, internships or apprenticeships, and, like, when I applied and the date that I applied, and this was the person that I applied to.
Why is that crazy?
Because I feel like a lot of people would just apply to like 4 or 5, and I literally had like an Excel sheet of like 50.
Yeah, Eric, maybe you spoke too soon.
No, that honestly sounds normal to me, because it's like you play the odds.
Yeah,
someone's gonna get back to you.
Yeah, one person did.
Yeah,
of the 50.
Shouldn't that feel like the best though?
Yes.
Who was that one?
It was Sony Music
in New York,
in Miami.
Oh.
So I interned there, and then in April, I found out that I didn't get the ETA. I was heartbroken. Like, when I tell you, I literally was like, I opened the email. It was the best day ever, and then it turned into the worst day ever. Because I sat in this like artist meeting, and I was pitching ideas, and the artist was like, I love this. And like all the executives were like, oh my god, it's amazing, it's great. And then I go back to like my intern computer to check my email, and I was like, hey, we regret to inform you that like you suck and you didn't make it and Spain hates you. It's like, I'm paraphrasing, but I was like, I literally was like,
madam.
Yeah.
You suck. I packed up all my things, and I was just like, to my boss, I was like, I have an upset stomach, I'm just gonna go. She was like, yeah, okay, cool, see you tomorrow. I'm like, maybe. I went to my car. I like literally was destroyed.
Nelly.
It was awful. It was, because it's like you literally, the application's like actually kind of tough, because it's like you have like a page of declaration or something where it's like, this is what I want to do and this is what I want to accomplish, and then there's like another prompt where it's like another page, but it's not even a full page. It's like 250 or like 500 words, which is like
nothing,
2 paragraphs, if that. It's like you really have to think. And I went to like all these people to edit my papers, and these like heads of departments to like, you know, I spent so much time on that application.
What did you want to do, or did you just want to go to Spain?
I just wanted to actually get more in touch with my roots, my like roots, not my Puerto Rican roots, and just be somewhere different, you know, because I had studied abroad in Panama, and I loved it. I love traveling, and I just wanted to do something different, also something that I felt like was actually benefiting people. And yeah, it kind of sucked that
And
I
they
didn't get
said
it.
no.
They did say no. It was crazy because the U.S. government, it's like the first round is like the U.S. government or teaching association or whatever is like, yes, approved to send to the host country. And then the second and final word is the host country. So it was like the U.S. was like, yeah, she's great. You're one of like maybe 80 applicants or something, like a small list of applicants that actually get sent to the host country. And the host country was like,
Oh.
you didn't make it. You know, like you're a spud. You know, to bring it back to Shark Tank. Yeah.
Well, more like a brick.
Yeah, but okay,
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for that. Yep.
So
Just bringing it back.
Spain said.
You know.
Spain
Yeah.
said I'm out.
Yeah, and I did the walk and I said thank you for your time, and then I cried in front of the testimonial of the camera, much like Shark Tank. You know, just painting the full picture for all the audio listeners out there.
So where do you go from there? How long does it take you to bounce back?
It didn't actually take me a crazy long time because I'm a little bit of a maniac. So what I did was I went home. Like my internship ended like 2 weeks after that. Let's call it May.
Yeah.
So I came back. My job was waiting for me, which was amazing, the hostessing job. And I literally every single day would like email like 10 people for like, or apply to 10 different jobs, etc. And then I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to shout out to the person that was the HR rep at the time. She's not there anymore. I probably drove her out. I literally would email her once a day and just be like, oh, I just want to like do a corporate tour and thank you in person. Thank you so much. Not creepily. I mean, outward looking in now, it's like a little creepy. But, you know, I was just like,
you were
really.
you were doing a lot.
Yeah, I was doing actually not a lot. I was doing the most. But look where I'm at now. So it worked.
At
you know?
Sony Music.
Yes.
So Sony Corporate, you would
Yes.
email them.
Yes, I would call her and like leave her voicemails and stuff. And like one time she actually picked up and she was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, like I got your resume.
Yeah.
I passed it along. There's nothing else I can do." I was like, "Okay, cool." I was just calling to say hi.
And then the
you
next
know?
day you were like,
Yeah.
"Hey,
The
hey,
police
girl."
police show up to my place with like a restraining order.
Right.
That was a joke.
Yeah.
So then what happens? I think like the last time I like spoke to her or emailed her or voicemailed her, honestly at this point it's all a blur.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be in New York soon." And that was like a complete lie.
Yeah.
Naturally. And I was like, "I'm going to be in New York soon. I just would love to like even a corporate tour, 5 minutes of your time. Really would just like to buy you coffee. Like, thank you so much. If not, totally get it."
It's great.
Business school,
Yeah.
you know? And so she was like, "Someone will be in touch." I was like, "Okay, bet."
The
So
police.
Yeah.
SWAT knocks down my door. So I remember I was coming home from the beach one day and my phone was at like 1%. And I see like this number, this 212 number calling. And I was like, "Oh my God, yay!" And then I go to swipe and it was like, boop. And literally as I was swiping in the middle, it was like, like old school iPhone 3. It was like the circle that was like, oh my God. When I tell you, I was like, I screamed. I was literally at the exit before my home.
Oh my God.
I screamed. And my mom, I'm screaming still. As I park my car, get inside the house, my parents were like, "Hey, like, what's up? Like, why are you screaming?" And I was like, "Oh no!" Like, I was just crazy. So I plugged my phone in. At that time, you had to wait like 10 minutes before your brick literally would turn back on. They didn't leave a voicemail or anything.
Oh, no.
And when like the bigger companies like call
just have
you,
the general
it's just the general number.
Oh,
When you call back, they're
no.
like, "Thank you for calling, boop boop boop."
Yeah.
And you can't get in touch with anyone
You're
unless
like,
you know their
"Someone
extension.
called me."
Yeah.
Right.
No, it hangs up after they're just like, "Okay, no prompt, goodbye."
Yeah.
Like, boop. So I was like, oh my God, I was so depressed. I was like, okay, whatever.
It was your one shot.
It was literally my one shot, and it wasn't cutting it, So then 2 days later, I forget what it was something very similar where I had missed the phone call or my phone was dying. Fun tip: always charge your phone, especially when you're looking for work.
Yeah.
Just, make sure it's on.
Just an important
It's
thing.
just like life,
Sure.
And but this time they did leave a voicemail, and the voicemail was like, "Hi, this is so-and-so HR rep from so-and-so company, would love to do an exploratory interview." And like anyone that knows, like an exploratory interview is like, we're doing this as a favor because you won't leave someone that we know alone,
But
so I was
you're like,
"Oh, perfect.
Fuck yes."
Yes. Yeah. They were just like, email this email, basically, don't call me.
Mm-hmm.
So I emailed. I was so prim and proper. "Hello.
Yeah.
Name here.
Yeah.
I'll be in New York on this date." It was like I think it was like before July 4th weekend, or it was like a holiday weekend or something. And like I buy my one-way ticket.
Had you been to New York before?
Never.
You said one-way
Oh,
ticket?
yes, I had. But when I was a kid, and a construction worker was like, hey, lady. And I was like, leave me alone! I screamed at him in the street. Another fun fact. I think that was number
Happy
6.
International Women's Day.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, leave me alone! My dad's
all
like,
he
are
wanted
you
to
okay?
wish you.
You bought a one-way ticket to New York?
Yeah, I did.
Because you were like, I'm going to get this job and I'm never going to leave?
I was like, no, because I was like, I don't know when I'm actually coming back, you know? And it's like the weekend, whatever.
Where'd you stay?
My parents were there at the time.
Okay.
And so bought my ticket and like did my first round of interviews, and then I got
At 550
there.
Madison?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And I got there, and the woman, like, after she was actually asking me questions and she realized I wasn't like crazy cuckoo, I was just like a little cuckoo,
Yeah.
just trying to get my foot in the door.
Sure.
Yeah,
She was
you were
like,
Reese Witherspoon in an election.
I don't fully understand the reference, but
It's like
It's a movie you have to
Yeah.
watch on Netflix.
dope. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah, on FaceTime.
Through your Netflix account, not
Yeah,
mine.
correct.
It's like one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going to go with it.
Okay.
So, yeah, exactly like that. And she was like, actually, there's this position at this record label, and, you know, you should interview for it. And I was like, okay, great. Yeah, I'll come tomorrow. And, like, one thing from business school that I learned was always say thank you, write an email. If you can't write an email, write a nice, like, handwritten note
that's
or
what they
something
teach
like
you
that.
in business school.
Amongst other things, yeah.
They didn't just like your. I don't know. I feel like
Jeff wants you to learn like all of micro and macro and all that
Oh,
stuff.
economics and stuff like yeah, of course. I killed at
Not
statistics,
just-
by the way.
Not just please and thank you.
Yeah.
Was that in like
5 courses of literally cursive handwriting and what kind of card to buy and the size.
How to shake a hand. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
like
just
where to
1
place
year.
silverware on a table?
Yeah.
That was just 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest was like kind of sucked.
How
you
to
know, after
balance
that.
a book on your
you
head
know,
as you
exactly.
walk. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
How to pose for a
Elocution.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
303.
Yeah.
all of that. But yeah, I really love statistics, by the way.
So you go
killed.
into this meeting.
Yes, sorry. And she was like, "Okay, come tomorrow." So before I would leave the lobby, I would write an email to the person that I had just met with, like, "Oh, so great to meet you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Look forward to seeing you next or speaking to you next or whatever." So then I came in the next day. I met with someone. And I thought I like killed not killed it, but like killed it in a bad way, the interview. Because you know, when you just feel a vibe, and you're just like, ugh, this person hates me.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work out. But I still wrote my email at the end of the interview. Totally cool.
Just like business school taught you.
Yep.
Just like, you know, life and
Sure.
business school taught me. Then I came in the next day and met with someone else, and literally like 2 hours later, like she was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'll be in touch with the position, but like you're amazing." Like we just spoke about like life and joked around. It was amazing. And then that was it. And then it was like the holiday weekend, and
Are you still in New York at this point?
still in New York. It was a holiday weekend. I met with literally everyone that I had, I guess, not even intended to meet with, to be honest with you. I just wanted to meet with that one HR person.
Right.
And, you know, had the holiday weekend. I booked my ticket. So, like, let's say July 4th was on a Monday that year. I booked it for, like, Tuesday afternoon or something like that. And then I get a call on Tuesday morning. It was like, hey, the head of marketing wants to meet with you. Can you come in today? And I was like, oh man, like I bought my ticket, but you know, at that point, like Tango and Uvu were like still a thing, and Skype. And I was
Wow.
like, but here are my credentials. Like, I'm more than happy to or like, you know, do video conference or whatever. You know, like, I'm so sorry I can't come. She's like, no problem. He just wanted to meet you. He heard great things about you and just wanted to meet with you. And then I hung up the phone. I was like, okay, 3 things need to happen. I need to make sure I can change my flight. I need to make sure my friend can pick me up. And then I need to make sure that I can actually make it to this interview on time, because she told me a time that he would want to meet. So I go online. It was like I'll never forget. It was a Southwest flight. And, you know, like when you go on Southwest, if you change your flight and there's no difference in the fare, you don't pay a difference. You just swap the flight.
Great.
At least at that point. I don't know if it's like that anymore. I haven't gone on
Is this an
Southwest in a while.
ad?
Yeah.
Hashtag Southwest. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I changed it.
No fee.
No fee at all, period. I was like, bam, done. Called my friend. Shout out to Anna again. I was like, hey, can you pick me up in Orlando instead of Tampa? I'll explain later. She's like, yeah, bitch, we out here. I was like, yes. All right, done.
Shout out to Anna.
Shout out to Anna. I called my mom, and she was like, "What's going on? Why are you out of breath?" I was like, "Mom, I need you to take me here at this time. I have another interview." She was like, "Okay, no questions asked." I went to our place. I showered. I put on like my business whatever casual attire.
Yeah.
I literally went to the city. I made it like 15 minutes before the interview. And then I called them when I was on my way. I was like, "Actually, I'm on my way in now. Can you still meet?" She was like, "Oh,
she's like, okay, psychopath.
Yeah. The police will be waiting for you
Sure.
at the 1 train."
Yeah.
And so I made it there, and then I came up, and the funniest part is that when I came up, it was like I was walking down the hallway. Literally, like, I don't know if it was assistants or coordinators or whatever at the time, but they were just like, as I was walking down, "Thank you so much for changing your flight. It's amazing you changed the flight. Thank you so much for changing your flight." And I'm like, who the fuck are these people? And how do they know I changed my flight? But also dope, because I'm like, no problem. I'm literally
like
waving at these people.
Yeah.
Had no idea. Then I met with the head of marketing, and we had like a convo, just like music and stuff like that, and like what I wanted to do at the time and stuff. And then I left. So then I was just like, you know what? Wrote my thank you email before I left, and I was like, you know what? What a success. This really could have gone this way. And you know what? If I don't even get a job, I'm not even mad. I met with people. I like got training. I got an experience out of it.
You got
New
to wear
York.
your business suit.
I got to sweat in my business casual and look really crazy in front of people. It's like, what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
And
The answer
was perfect. Yeah, exactly, right? So then my flight had a layover in like Boston or Baltimore or something like that. So by the time I landed in like Boston or Baltimore, I had a voicemail in my inbox like, "Hey, we want to offer you a job. How early can you start?" And that's where I moved to.
And you were like, "I will fly directly back from Baltimore or Boston."
No, I took 2 weeks and I went to PR to visit my family.
What kind of position was that?
Marketing. I was a marketing assistant.
What did that entail?
It was really like sending, at that point it was like you would have to email, I'm sure label people still do this, like email like media based reports or like radio reports to managers on like, I think it still populates on Monday, I believe, and like sales was like on Wednesday, not Fridays. So like you would have to send sale reports on Wednesday to like every single manager and like your percent growth and your decrease and this and that. And then outside of that, it's like, of course, like expenses, travel, meeting minutes, and like all that kind of stuff. But like I was like, hey, I'm living the life.
There was a crossroads in your professional life.
Yes.
You listen to that voice.
I know.
You could have been radio Nelly but you went into marketing Nelly
I did.
What happened?
So in the flurry of trying to find a job after my internship, I had wow, it was really crazy. I like not stalked is like a really strong word, but I basically no, there was this radio station that was really popular in Miami. And I've been told, literally, I don't even know if it's an insult, by the way, and people are just like, "Oh my god, you have an amazing radio voice." It's like, are you calling me ugly? Because if so, we need to talk, you know? So I had just been told that so much that I'm just like, yeah, I could definitely do that. And it's like, you know, you make your demos and
you did.
Yeah, so I used to work in radio in Tampa. Shout out to Wild
at
and
USF?
Maxima. No, not at USF, at the actual station, CBS Radio. I don't know if it's CBS Radio still, but
you were an on-air personality?
No.
Oh, okay.
I did street team.
Whoa.
Like remotes and stuff like that.
Drove the van?
No.
Oh.
Watched the van?
Well, they had a SUV. I would drive the SUV.
Wow.
Sometimes. Yeah. But you know, you spin the wheel for tickets, or like we do a remote at like Boost Mobile or whatever.
Yeah, how long can you keep your hand on the car before you win it or something?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little extreme because I think that it's like hot in Florida, so it's also abuse. But yeah, things similar to that nature.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was like, I want to get the inner workings of radio and basically like see what it's about and stuff. And so I like fell in love with it because it's like you hear these voices on like, hey, welcome to blah 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 FM. You're now gonna listen to this song. All right, see ya. And you're like, oh, they're so famous. And then you actually put faces to names and you're like, wow, like these are real people. Like they're actual real people. I'm sure people feel that way about you guys too, actually.
Sure,
like when they meet you.
Yeah.
Well, I usually just get, I can't believe he's so tall.
I mean, that's something.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't actually know how to respond to that. But so it's like, oh, this is so cool. And so I did my internship, and then I had been in touch with like this radio station to do like part-time work and stuff, like while I was at where I was at, and I had spoken to, I forget his name, but he was like the head of like, was it like marketing or something on like a really popular show. And so like yeah, he was just like, come by at this time, you can meet with this person and blah blah blah. I met with this person, and then we just like kept in touch and whatever. And they were like, what are your aspirations? And I was like, I would just like to be on air. I think I'm really funny, and I've been told I have a radio voice. Like I'm so nice that I'm just like, I've just been told. And he's like, okay, cool, you're bubbly, it may work. I'm like, okay, cool. So then this is at the same time that I'm doing the New York thing, right, with like the meetings and stuff like that. And so I was in Puerto Rico. Remember I told you I went to Puerto Rico after I accepted the job. And then I get a call from the guy who, I think he was like the PD at the time or something like that. And he was like, hey, I have a slot from 2 to 6 a.m. before, it's basically like the
grave shift.
Yeah, the graveyard. But you could like go on there, you could practice, and then it's right before like the big morning show. I was like, oh man, fuck. So I literally had to sit down and be like, okay, what do I want to do? Not more, but I'm also like a firm believer of if it's seamless, then it's for you. Whereas like if a decision takes a long time or it's hard, there's a lot of obstacles, sometimes it's just not for you, you know. And that's like something that people have to realize, right? Because people like to think that, I have found that people like to think that every decision is like, no matter how hard, no matter how simple, it's got to get done. It's like, nah, sometimes things aren't for you.
Right.
You got to be okay with that. So the New York opportunity, everything was so seamless. It's like, you get a call back, you know, there's no change in your airfare, your friend can pick you up at the airport, you
everything
get a
just
job
fell
off
into
it.
place.
It's like
so
literally everything fell into place. And then you know, with this one, it was like we would miss each other, leave voicemails, not talk, I can come in, he can't it was not as easy. And so I actually had to sit down. I was in Puerto Rico at the time. I remember where I was sitting and everything, where I called him. And I was like, I think I'm going to move to New York. I, you know, hope we can talk or keep in touch, but like, I don't think this is the time. And he was like, okay, keep me posted.
Wow.
And that was it. Yeah.
Well, okay, I do want to say, so usually I like to do a lot of research before we do these interviews. Eric tends to have a more natural conversation. Eric turned out to like find the only other interview you've ever done before this.
Oh God.
Which was that you had done something for the USF newsletter, some like alumni thing, and it said that you would go from floor to floor, and you would say hi to every single person.
Yes.
Like while you were, you know, every morning you would go and all 3 floors you would say hi to every single person. What was your thinking behind that?
I love people. I'm genuinely a people person. And I would get there so early. Like I would get there, like, let's say a normal working day is like 10. I would get there at like 8:45 and 9 sometimes, just to like get ahead of my day so I could just like make time for anything creative that comes my way, and you know, any brainstorms that I need to do, and you know, just like, you know, when we all start out, we're just like
Great. You wanted to fully be there.
Yeah, like completely there, and like, you know, do all the small stuff on the side. I just wanted to say hi and actually meet people, because it's like, you also have to keep in mind, I didn't know anyone period in New York. Like I had a friend who worked in advertising. She moved 8 months after I moved. I had another friend that moved like 3 months after I moved. Then another friend from college that moved like 5 months after I moved. So eventually I had people just around, but I didn't know anybody. So it's like I kind of have to actually meet people. It's actually, it was like high school all over again.
And where were your parents living within New York?
Staten Island.
Oh, wow. So that is a trip.
Yeah.
Every day. 2 times a day.
And then to the 6 and then straight up?
To the 1. I would do the 1.
Jesus.
And I would walk, I think it was like 2 avenues, which is great because I lost so much weight. Oh my God, because it was like hot.
Yeah.
So it's like you're literally sweating. That was also another reason. It's like you're sweating by the time you get to work. So it's like I need 30 minutes to chill. And my hair not be sticking to my forehead, you know? That's like important to me, you know, appearance.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's also interesting because if you are known to everybody, you become somebody that people want to root for. No,
What? Wait, sorry.
no, that's fine.
Wait, one
That's
more.
fine.
Run that
That's fine,
back
guys.
one more time because I want to
No.
agree.
Because you want to agree.
No, because for whatever reason, I just like you kind of caught a gaze, and I was just like thinking about something, and then I caught the end of that, and then just repeat it one
The
more time.
face you made was so suspicious.
I know.
You were like,
It made me wonder, like, if I said something just like so crazy or really basic,
yeah.
and I don't know which one was which.
No, but please.
So
tell
here's
me
where I'm
again.
gonna go with this.
Okay, dope.
You go over to Roc Nation, and did you have any fear of changing a job? Because that was your first real job in
Yeah.
the business. Were you afraid, like, oh, well, what if this isn't the right move?
Yes.
Well,
But that's also because I'm like that with like every move. It's kind of like, am I doing the right thing? You know. But you're young. It's like I would say that when I was young. Not
and who could
necessarily
you
now.
who
Well, wait, but that doesn't go away because you've gone through so many different moves, and it's like, well, obviously, you know, time is just like every move is just temporary if you want it to be, right?
Whoa, that's deep.
No, what's deep is Eric the other day said,
I'm waiting for this.
we were driving down to a meeting with a friend,
And she
And-
missed her turn, and she said, "Oh my God!" And she's like, "Oh no, it's all right." And I said, "Yeah, you're never lost. You're just rerouting."
That's true.
And Jeff was like, "You have to put that on a T-shirt."
I'm like, that's some
That's
stupid
legendary.
person. I was like, you can sell so many T-shirts based off that.
And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do that.
Yeah.
You're not lost. You're just rerouting.
Well, more to that, like I used to get so, and just like in growing up in general, I used to get so like, oh my God, like I think I brought it up earlier where it's like, I should have done this, or I should have, you know, majored in this, or I
Right.
should have, you know, told my parents I wanted to stay here. And you just get so, and this is just like people in general, it's so toxic,
Yeah.
that thinking, right? Because it's just like you just get swallowed in the past, and this is going to sound really cliche, but it's like you're neglecting the present, and then you're just automatically going to be mad about your future because you're always just thinking about the past.
Right.
And so I literally, I don't remember when it was, but I had to like do like a paradigm shift for myself, and I really don't know when it was, where I was just like, honestly, anything negative that would even happen to me, and more than likely because of my doing, it's all an experience, or it's all because of something, right? So it's like, case in point, the other day I paid $30 extra for shipping on something that I could have easily called the person and said, hey, when can you realistically ship this, because I need it by this date, and they ended up sending it within 2 days. So I spent like $30 more on shipping that I didn't need to, but I wasn't pissed. I was just like, oh man, that sucks, but okay, lesson for next time, I'll call. Like literally I do that so much now where it's actually kind of like a little scary.
So who is the one who reaches out from Roc Nation and says, "Hey, I see what you're doing, and I think you could do something really cool for us over here"?
The head of marketing at the time, and she was like, you have a great attitude. I love like your energy and your prompt. Like, would you consider?
Who did you know that you could rely on for good advice in changing companies?
At the time?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really didn't know anyone.
So it was really just your gut instinct, and it paid off. Certainly, you've been at the company for
It'll be 6 years.
yeah
in
6
April.
years. So what's the first moment going over to Roc Nation and feeling like you're at something way different than the giant Sony Corporation?
The Born Sinner listening. And it was, did you guys go to that?
Yeah,
At the SVA Theater.
yeah, where we all had wireless headphones and an app, and we listened as we watched.
Correct. The listener app.
a film, yeah.
And we had,
Which,
I'll
by the
say-
way, just real quick, you know, we've spoken about a million listening parties that we've been to over the years, and ones that stick out are ones like that where you're totally focused on the music.
that makes me really happy that you
Because
said that.
because you know, if you're in a room full of everyone and they're just talking and eating fucking whatever hors d'oeuvres are being passed
Banchan.
around, and it's like, well, I could just go home and listen on headphones anyway. But if you're in a theater, you're in the dark and you're all focused on what clearly was a very lyrical album, and you're fully in it. You're engaged in it, and you're hearing what he has to say. So that's
Yeah.
dope.
And it was like, what if we do, instead of doing a traditional listening event, what if we use this app? And also, what if we do it globally? So it's like a global listening session. And everyone was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. And then we literally like got it done. Like at the time, you know, shout out to Ed. I had just met him like maybe 3 weeks prior or something like that. And I was like, hey, we have this crazy idea. We're going to play a silent beacon out of speakers. Can you just send us some speakers? And he's like, yeah, perfect. Okay, done. So it's like we had, I think it was like LA, New York,
London?
Atlanta, Miami, London, Toronto, Australia, I think.
Wow.
There was like, yeah, I think it was like between 7 and 9. And all we did was just put out coordinates. We just went, I was like,
right.
What do we do? Coordinates. And then, you know, we had like a team, and it was just like, yeah, let's do it. So we looked up like, okay, what are these tourist staple places, right? It was like Times Square, the Chinese Theater, or, you know, in Toronto, I think it was like a New Era store maybe, or something like that. It was like staple places in each area.
Staples.
Staples, you may even say. And it actually worked. It was really crazy. It was really, and the reaction to it was actually, I think, even better, because for me, it was one of the, if not the first time, where it's like, oh, you can come up with a crazy idea and then literally have the resources available to you and actually execute it. Marketing is really fucking dope.
Longtime listeners have known that, you know, we've had a million Dreamville people on here. We've had Eve on here. We've had Brian Nolan on here. We've had Rich Kleiman on here.
A bunch of their artists.
Yeah. What was it about J. Cole that made you want to root for him and see him win?
He, you know what's crazy is that I think I'm a good people reader. At least when I meet people. Like energy wise and stuff, and like I would say like the first couple of times that I met him, I was just like, wow, he's so nice. Like I just remember just like saying that. I think we even spoke about that too, just like separately. Like he's probably one of the nicest people that I've met, you know, value wise, like family, and, you know, caring for people that are around you, and like just being like leading by example, I would say, just like, and just being nice and just being like a good person. And, you know, just in like a couple instances, like even in the beginning, I was just like, oh my God, he's so nice.
Yeah.
Wow, this changed everything.
Yeah.
You know, so he was like one of the first, he's actually probably one of the first people that I, like artists that I met too, actually. So it's probably like, it definitely helped make a lasting impression too. In
moving over to a company that wasn't just traditionally a music company, what were some of the experiences that you sort of latched onto that were outside of what you thought you would be getting into?
I think just overall, like the ideas are like bigger, you know, not to say that they're not anywhere else. I mean, I definitely don't want to say that, because we've seen great campaigns from honestly everybody, but
wow, you're such a benevolent and political queen.
No, because I also want to be respectful. Like I don't want to just like, I'm not shitting on anyone. I think everyone has great ideas, and, you know, timing is everything and resources are everything too, you know?
But it's got to be exciting to have like sports under the same roof, and to be working like not just with, you know, a rap artist, but you could also work with, you know, Shakira or Haim, or do Made in America, or do something just left of field. And you did. It literally is that. Yeah. It's super cool. That's awesome.
What was your first time sitting on the gold couch like?
Shout out to Lenny S. Honestly, I saw it being built. I saw The Office being built, because at that time we didn't have like it just like the floor overall, like the floor plan was being built. And I remember we were all like, I really wonder what this is gonna be, because it was like covered. We're like, I really wonder what this is gonna be, and it was kind of like a big unveiling, and we were like,
wait, they papered it up like it was?
Yeah, because it's like paint and, you know, tiles.
Yeah.
And furniture. You know, it's a movie. But it's like a staple too. It's like, it's got a blue check on IG.
Oh yeah. Oh, it does.
It's also had an art gallery opening.
That is traveling.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that. It's amazing.
What's your first time meeting Khaled like?
We did like a, was it like a cheers or like a champagne welcome upstairs? I think that's when it was. And I like helped like corral everyone in the room or something like that. But it's like always fun, you know? It's like, oh my God, he's so cool. He's so fun. And that's literally like, you guys have met him too. It's just like literally exactly how he is 24/7. So he's fun.
While you were working at Roc Nation, you were still in school,
Yes.
online,
Yes.
getting your master's.
Yes.
How did that all work with, you know,
Yeah, what was your schedule
work?
like?
24/7. So I actually didn't have a life for like 18 months basically, because I would spend every moment that I wasn't doing work. I would literally go home and open up my laptop and my textbooks and do my tests
Schoolwork.
and all that stuff. Yeah. So I would have to physically go every semester to meet my professors for the following semester and take my final exams for that semester.
Where'd you go to grad school?
UF.
University of Florida.
Yes.
Go Gators.
Wait,
Go
why
Gators.
was it important for you to actually go to grad school?
Two things. So I always wanted my MBA, and I wanted to get my MBA before I was 26. For whatever reason, that was like
Just
a
a personal goal.
huge number for. Yeah, I don't know why. It was like
But
I
what
hate to
did
say bucket
your
list, but
MBA like offer you, other than just like probably more money? I guess I honestly just don't know anything about MBAs.
right.
So
but
like,
so I like to learn. So it's like I just wanted like a different I guess a different kind of like
benchmark.
yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Is a doctorate in your future?
I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
an honorary
Dr.
doctorate
Nelly?
from somewhere.
Dr. Nelly.
Like Harvard, call me.
Yeah, right.
Princeton, I'm here.
Yeah, you're open to it.
You know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
If somebody
Just-
just wants you to like make a speech at graduation and
Yeah.
they'll
I'll
give you
do
a
it.
robe.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
Auburn.
Oh, actually, Auburn would be really dope.
That'd be cool.
That's a good way to bring it back.
So you're doing work during the day,
Mm-hmm.
schoolwork at night, and what kind of campaigns are we talking about at that time?
So Forest Hills Drive was like, I would say like my first project, like leading. So it's like I was learning as I was doing. Yeah, it was a lot.
And that's
So wait, so
That's-
what did you do on that?
Sorry.
campaign?
So okay, so
Were you doing like the listenings at the house?
yeah, so we did the listings at the house. He did the Fuck Money Spread Love like tour, like on like the bus where he would do like impromptu stops and stuff like that. He did the Letterman performance with was it Be Free? All I want to do is take the chains off, right? Be Free. Yeah, it was like just that was his first album that obviously went platinum, no features, but he was just himself.
How'd you feel hearing your name?
I didn't know that was happening, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so great.
And how do you feel that DJ Booth said when they broke down
Put my
everyone's
government
names?
name out there, man.
They said it's either Nelly Ortiz, who does marketing at Roc Nation, or Nelly the rapper. They said it's cool if it's Nelly Ortiz, but it's awesome
Agreed, by the way.
if it's Nelly the rapper.
Yeah, and look where we are.
I know.
You know? Look where we are. So, that was amazing.
Who are some of the artists that you've worked with while at Roc Nation? Khaled.
Yes.
Assad Khaled?
I love Assad.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone loves Assad. He's such a good kid.
Yeah.
He's like amazing.
We want Assad Khaled's first interview.
That would be amazing.
Right?
That actually would be really amazing. What kind of questions would you ask?
The same questions, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, dope. Okay.
Yeah. Where were you born?
When you're playing with Superman figurines, like what?
Yeah.
What's going through your head? Like,
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want to be?
Right,
Or
right.
Or what does that character want to be?
Yeah. What? Why do you want an MBA?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what does it personally mean to you?
Why do you like Hoover, Alabama?
Assad?
Yeah. Well.
Or do you? Or
Yeah.
do
What are
you?
your thoughts on
Yeah.
Hoover, Alabama?
Oh, here we go.
So,
Not the Hoover reference again.
so 5 years into your Roc Nation run, you pulled us aside
Uh-oh.
in New York
Yeah, I did.
and said, guess what, guys? I'm moving.
Yeah, I did.
And so you, as far as we knew, were a New Yorker. You were a New Yorker through and through.
Gypsy.
And you came out here basically like with the snap of a finger. Why?
So I've always wanted to live on the West Coast, and it's actually proved super interesting and actually enlightening.
Do you
actually
actually
life-changing?
Oh, you prefer getting up 3 hours earlier so you can be on New York time? Yeah.
You know, it's it's that's one of the interesting parts of it is your inbox.
Yeah, sure.
But you get used to it. You know, you wake up earlier because it's like in New York. It's like you wake up
Right.
you
This
know?
is like you getting to the Sony office at 8:45 in the morning.
exactly
Just to be ahead of schedule.
on the West Coast.
Nelly, you are an internet superstar,
Oh Jesus.
and a lot of people know you for your Instagram account. But why are you Nelly? Duh.
Oh, this is a good one. Should I change it, by the way?
No.
No,
What?
Okay. Nelly, duh. So I used to have a fun fact. What number is this?
6.
5.
6.
Dope. So we can't agree. I'm going to say 6.
Yeah.
So I had like 4 screen names. It's like, when AOL dial-up was a thing in chat rooms and whatever. So I had Green Kip Conan.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain all these, but keep
Yeah,
going.
dope. Then I had like a Latina girl, whatever my birthday is. And then I had one other one. It was like a mix of both. And then for whatever reason, I had it was like, I think it was high school or something. And I was with my friend. That's when Instagram literally had just started. So when Facebook had just started. And so Instagram started shortly thereafter. And I was like, man, what should I be? And she was like, oh, I'm going to do, and then insert her name here. And then I was like, oh, lit. I'm going to be Nelly, duh. But it's going to be 3 H's, not just one, stupid. And it literally I've just had it ever since. I wish there was a better story, to be quite honest with you. There's not.
I'm glad there's not a better story. How about that?
What are you better at now than you were 5 years ago?
I think, my hair.
Oh, yeah.
Purely
Agreed.
my eyebrows. Also agreed. I'm gonna agree with that one too. My pictures back then were legit. I think I've always said this too, is my favorite part about marketing is being able to ideate, but not only ideate, but be able to execute what that thing is, right? And it can be something as small as, like, let's say a dope listening event in a theater or in a house, or something as obscure as that, but also as big as, like, is there a TV campaign? Is there something that's gonna make other trade press, like tech press, or non-music press and stuff, and just like pushing your boundaries, I would say. So like it's kind of like a broad answer, but it's also like a very specific one, in the sense that I don't think I knew back then what, like, not how easy, but like how reachable some ideas are. Like, like when you're even in college or like starting out with your job, you're just like, oh, we can't do this. It's too big. It's impossible to do this. And it's like, actually, nothing is really impossible. It's just a matter of getting it done, and getting it done the best way possible.
What I would say is you're never lost. You're just rerouting.
As impactful as the first time.
What does it mean to you to have been under 30?
Well, I think was it for USF or for Billboard?
Billboard.
For
That's
Billboard.
40 under 40.
What does
But-
it mean?
But I
Yes.
wait.
Yes.
Isn't 40 under 40 a bigger deal?
Yeah, apparently there was only 5 20-somethings on that list.
So you could have been a
Which
30
is
under
dope.
30.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but I feel like 40 under 40, like there's more people. Like it's a bigger pot.
Well,
Yeah.
what does it mean to you, and what does it mean to your parents?
It is actually really cute, because I told my mom, and she was like, okay, what store can I buy it at? I was like, yeah, it's like online right now, but like it's not out. And she was like, okay, cool. And every time I spoke to her, which is like, I talk to my mom like 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Cool. Can I get it now? I'm like, we just spoke 20 minutes ago. It's still online. So not yet. But like, it actually, for whatever reason, was the hardest like magazine to find that week. Like, I went to 5 different newsstands, like people were literally buying them for me in their newsstands in like the Valley, because
That's awesome.
it's just a random. Yeah, so I ended up with 7 copies. And so I got one framed. That one's in my home. So if you guys would have come to my home, you could have seen it. I know. And then I sent 2 to my mom and my dad. I sent 1 to my sister. And then I'm going to bring one for my grandmother when I
really
see her
awesome.
next. in
Are you
PR.
going to send one to Lenny with like your face circled and be like an arrow pointing to you?
Like,
being
that's me.
Yeah.
40 under 40.
I
Like,
can say that wasn't on my agenda, but
It's a real Aries move.
now that you mention it,
Yeah. Listen,
Could be a vibe.
Nelly, you're a 40 under 40 girl. You're a rock girl, but most importantly, especially to us, you will always be
a flower girl.
Yeah.
Yes, I love how that came full circle. Absolutely.
Nelly, congratulations on everything,
Thank
and
you.
thanks for making time for us out here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
And
Well,
Thanks
you're
for
like one of the most. Well, I guess you're just like a national woman to us.
Yeah.
An actual woman?
A national woman.
Oh, a national. I was like, excuse me? Sorry, excuse me?
You're an actual woman to us.
That's dope.
You used to be just a girl.
Thanks so much, Nelly.
Wait, can I do
Yeah.
one more thing?
Yes.
Can we do like radio voices? Like our best radio voices?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, wait.
Like-
Can you? All right. I want you to give.
I don't know why I just
We're
want
gonna-
that in there.
No, we gotta
By the
stop.
way-
We gotta stop the music now.
I
Yeah.
100% wanted to do this before, but then I lost my train of thought. But yes, I want you to dedicate the next song to. We're all gonna do it because
Yeah.
now you suggested it, but I was gonna have you just do it. You're gonna dedicate this next song to Chad from O'Fallon, Illinois.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Kiss something 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 FM. Now Chad, we have something special for you. Someone just called us in named Sandra. Don't know if there's something special, but this is Anuel AA Secreto here on whatever the fuck FM. Did I kill it?
I hire you.
You killed it.
Okay.
All right, you go.
Okay, so wait, you're gonna dedicate this to Xiomara from Wichita, Kansas.
A big Latin population out there. In
No,
Wichita?
there's a huge
Mhm.
influx of Puerto Ricans
Sure.
out there.
All right.
I love
That
it.
was Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny.
Bob Bunny. You know?
All right.
All right.
Mhm. Gotta get serious.
Mm-hmm.
My serious XM voice.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right.
This is honestly better than the interview. To be honest with you, can we just cut out the entire
We can finally
interview?
be honest,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Woo! Is this thing on? Jesus.
I feel like this is like morning radio.
Yeah.
Clang, 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 clang.
Pew, 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 pew. The sound effects. I'm
Yeah.
into it.
When
we could do that too.
When we interviewed Big Boy from Outkast,
Yes.
we were just like, Big Boy, clang, 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 clang.
That's brilliant. Damn, I should have brought my what do you
Cowbell?
call it? The
maracas?
too.
Oh my God.
Wow. For
Yeah,
your
it would have been
people.
a vibe.
Yeah. Shake the block. You know.
It would have been a vibe.
Wait,
Okay, so
who am I
you
shouting
failed
at?
the radio test
Yeah.
with Xiomara.
Yeah.
Dope.
Xiomara.
Okay, you just.
Que lo que?
Okay, dope. Okay, so we're just gonna pass that. All right.
This is Bad Bunny. You're listening.
You know.
You're listening to Jammin' 94.5.
I love those, by the way. Like when the artists have to come to town and like do a read, and it's
Yeah.
just like, whenever I'm in Boston. I'm
Hey, what's
listening
up,
to-
Cincinnati?
yeah.
Okay, dope. This is. And you're listening to It's Poppin'. 94.5 FM.
It's poppin'.
Oh.
Wait, so where's your radio voice? You have one.
I don't know who I'm talking to.
Okay.
You are
yeah.
going to be shouting out Nelly from Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
Oh,
From Hollywood, California.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I like
You're really
this.
Hollywood.
hmm
I'm
No.
I'm not that Hollywood.
See?
No. Yeah. Okay. And
The fuck?
And the song.
The
Daddy
song.
Yankee con calma.
Oh, see.
Sorry, that was the first thing that came to mind.
Daddy Yankee.
Daddy Yankee. This is going really good.
I know. Yeah.
Fuego.
Mami
Fuego. I'm so into this.
I know.
Can you just put honestly, no description, just lady emoji fire, lady emoji fire, lady emoji fire for the entire about?
But also
or
put
no?
like
Is this a dare?
weepy face.
a weepy. Oh, like a,
Mm-hmm. No, just
Bob
the
Bunny?
one tier.
oh, just one. Why?
I don't know.
Because
maybe
Nelly
I'm
killed the
sad.
shit. Thanks, Nelly.
Damn. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening to this new episode of A Waste of Time with It's The Real. Jeff, if people want to find out more about us, I'm Eric, you're Jeff. We live in Los Angeles now. We are It's The Real.
we are farmers.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. If people want to find out more about this podcast, it's called A Waste of Time with It's The Real. If people want to find out more about what we have going on, Jeff, there's one place that they can go. Where can they go?
You can always go to ItsTheReal.com, ItsTheReal.com. I don't know if it helps that I spelled it so fast.
Well, say it slowly now.
ItsTheReal.com. Go to ItsTheReal.com. Go get yourself a mug at ItsTheReal.com/shop. Go sign up for a newsletter. Just a regular ItsTheReal.com.
Yes, Jeff, here's the thing. People want to know where they can find the podcast, and they say you have all the answers. Tell them, Answer Man.
Answer Man. That's a good nickname. That's like me saying Nelly's name is Will Nell I Am. You can always go to iTunes. You can always go to Spotify. You can even go to SoundCloud. Search for It's The Real on any service. You can go on CastBox. You can go on Tidal maybe. I don't know. Just go anywhere, search for It's The Real. Our podcast will come up. Also, Two Jews and Two Black Dudes, our other podcast with Locks, where we review movies. That will come up too.
It's playing everywhere.
So search for A Waste of Time with It's The Real. We are also on Twitter at It's The Real, Facebook at It's The Real, Instagram at It's The Real.
And Jeff, now we get to the part that everyone's been waiting for. We asked you guys out there who you wanted us to shout. It must be a friend of yours. And Jeff, you got all the names.
I got all the names, kept them on the list.
Checked it twice. Let's go.
Let's go. Eve Miner said to shout out Dematless. His name is Josh. Shout out my boy, Josh. Shout out to him. Shout out from MusicMan88, who said to shout out his podcast co-host Shad Miller13 and Twitterless Tim. Now the thing is, I don't know what podcast it is.
All right.
But shout out to them. Shout out to Nick the Ruler, who I think used to be Tubbs Kruger. Tubbs Kruger.
That's just
That's a guess. That's me.
Okay.
He said, I'm trying to get to one of your shows. Did not say that he needed anybody shouted out. Nobody's Nothing wants to shout out Kryptonite, Petey Taco, and This Is Not Gil.
Shout out to all of them.
Shout out to OT Marie, who said to shout herself out, Young T's Nuts. Shout out to Oshina from Detroit Player. Her birthday's coming up. She works hard. She's A1, and I love her like I love Wonder Ice.
Shout out to her and happy almost birthday.
D Coast said to shout out Living Like Larry M, and then Larry M was like, you're supposed to shout out a friend.
Damn.
Like a burn.
Damn.
A burn.
Not
Living
today,
like
Larry.
Yeah. Don't Hate Be Hated, our guy from the DMV.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Trav Dave,
Our guy from out there in Columbus, Ohio.
Yo31, Yo Phillips.
Yes.
From Atlanta.
Know him well.
Know him well. He said my friends Jeff and Eric Rosenthal are on Twitter. Yes, we are. We are at It's The Real.
Isn't that where he added us?
He did.
Strange.
Very funny joke, yo. Dynamite This Is a shout out One Gold Dreams. That would be dope. Shout out from Just Call Me Flo to the homie A Day in the Life.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to from Taki Bond to What's the Move NYC, his company. Shout out to Taki, who we see in NYC. That is the move.
All right.
Shout out to the guy, my guy, the 12 from Nilk Nas.
Shout out to them.
Also, Lucien, our good friend from New York,
Yes,
who was
sir.
in a Bumble campaign.
He was and is and forever will be.
Said at Jeff. Johnny HSD.
Shout out to Johnny.
Bronx's Own.
Yes, sir.
So shout out Hoop Showdown, his incredible project and company. Shout out from OJ No Simpson to Make It Duh.
Shout out to them.
J.Cov, Jason Covington, said, F my friends, shout me out, I like the attitude.
That goes against everything that we've asked.
No, I fuck with it. I fuck with the vision.
All right.
Shout out from Trav Dave, who said to shout out his guy, Mr. Whispers, which sounds like
A cat that lives on the guy's head.
Oh, well, I was going to say it sounds like a strip club. I Hate Y'all is the name of the person.
Okay.
Who said, shouts to the Bros, Leak G, T-Bond 32, Joey Scythers, Jiggy Flacco, Young Chancellor, and CJ. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
None of them follow us. Not one person. Not I Hate Y'all, not Leak G, not any of them.
Damn.
Damn.
Pity.
Yes. Damn. That's my Gordon Ramsay impression.
Shout out to that.
Shout out from Blackbag42 to Love Lil Pink. Neither of them follow us. Oh well.
All right.
Shout out to All Our Nonsense, the podcast, All Things Fucking Considered. Shout out to the whole team: Courtney Classy, James D 7004, Jay Graves 52, Sterl, KG, and Derek. Huge fans. Thanks for the constant content, guys. What they say to us.
Shout out to all of you guys, and shout out especially for that compliment.
Shout out to a lame named D. Michael Caesar, who said, I ain't got no friends, shout me out.
Damn.
Again, fuck
Well,
with the vision.
you know what? For that, shout out to you.
Yeah. Shout out to the DDC1, who said to shout out Guy Fieri, his good friend Guy Fieri.
Well, you know what? I'm going to take him at his word. Shout out to Guy.
Shout out to the World on Mars, who said Dre Day 95 and Robert Reyes 5033.
Shout out to all of you guys.
Also, Craigarius, who shouted out himself. Coolest kid out, our guy, Cam
Motherfucking
McCullough, who said at me.
You know what? Shout out to Cam and all of our friends over at Duce Palooza.
Shout out to the Godfather, Cam.
Shout out to Cam. Shout out to everyone over at Duce Palooza. Jeff, as always, now for real, for real.
Sure.
See you guys next week.